Alrighty, guys, we're coming fresh off a perfect 6-0 day in my personal plays on my website yesterday. And the only way you could have accessed all 6 of those winners is to be a board member on that site. Board members get access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just $1.66 a day. And I'll talk a little bit more about it in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you got your week off started good. My name is Brock Page. I've been doing sports picks for free on YouTube since 2016. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. Where once again, guys, I went a perfect 6-0 of my 6 premium plays on that site yesterday. And the only way you could have accessed all 6 of those winners would be if you joined my all-inclusive, full-access board member package on that site. I currently have over 525 members who are signed up and active on my site right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Knicks at the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. New York's the 1-point favorite, totals 225.5. And speaking of the total in this one, the Knicks saw their last 4 road games all get over the number. Matter of fact, New York went 6-3 to the over in their last 9 contests at any location. The Magic's currently 16-10 to the over as the home team. And that's good for 63% in that particular category. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's a little bit more tricky to handicap than you would think, as both teams do have some really positive areas. Starting off with Orlando, they got the W in 3 out of their last 4, and they've been pretty dominant underneath the basket. Matter of fact, Orlando's grabbing more defensive boards a game at home than any other team in the NBA except for one. Meanwhile, for the Knicks on the other side, they're arguably the best offensive rebounding team in the Eastern Conference. So we should see some very physical action inside the paint here tonight. So if you want to see whether I'm leaning toward the Knicks getting the job done on the road, or if I like Orlando at home here, there's only 2 ways you can find out. One, you can join my NBA tier package on patreon.com/BrockPage. This game's being featured as today's NBA tier package bet. Or number 2, guys, you can join my all-inclusive full-access board member package on that very same site. Once again, guys, not only are board members going to get access to every single personal play, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days, you're also going to get access to today's full board member podcast video as well. The math actually works out to be just $1.66 a day over the course of the next 30 days if you sign up here today. Certainly a great value. But as far as making a free pick is concerned for this video here, I'm going to lean toward the over, 225.5 in that game. All right, next matchup I have for you, it is going to be the Hawks at the Pelicans, 7:30 p.m. East. New Orleans is -2, totals 236. And even though the Pels are getting a couple of key guys back in the lineup here today, they've certainly had their hands full with Atlanta in recent meetings. The Pels actually lost 8 out of their last 10 contests against the Hawks. And as far as this year's concerned, New Orleans has had a tough time scoring late. These guys are currently in the bottom 10 in the NBA in fourth quarter scoring on the road. They're in the bottom 10 in the NBA in fourth quarter scoring at home. Now they're facing an Atlanta team who's averaging more points a game on the road than any other team in the NBA. Trae Young, he scores a team-high 27 points a game. He's also 3rd in the NBA in assists. Meanwhile, Clint Capella, he's 5th in the league in rebounds. The big man's averaging nearly a dozen boards a night. Now, injury-wise, Trae Young, he's been upgraded to probable for Atlanta. Looks like he's good to go. Meanwhile, for the Pelicans, looks like Ingram and Valanciunas are both going to suit up for them, so good to see that. Now, total-wise, the Pels saw 4 out of their last 5 get over the line. Meanwhile, Atlanta went 80% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Atlanta +2 over 236. Next contest I have for you, it is going to be the Suns at the Nets, 7:30 p.m. East. Phoenix is -5.5, totals 225. Now the Suns should see their star Devin Booker return here tonight, but regardless of that, whether he's in the lineup or not, Phoenix has played some really good basketball recently despite their injuries. These guys went 8-2 straight up in their last 10, and they covered in 80% of those ball games. When it comes to defensive play, the Suns are in the top 5 in the NBA in fewest points allowed. DeAndre Ayton, he's grabbing nearly 8 defensive boards a night. He's also second on the team in points. When it comes to scoring in this one, Devin Booker's averaging a team-high 27 points a game. Now they're facing a Brooklyn squad on the other side of things who's one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. Not only are the Nets in the bottom 10 in defensive boards, they've also been really bad on the offensive end of the court as well. They're grabbing fewer offensive boards per contest than any other team in the league except for one. Now, injury-wise, KD's still out. Curry, Dinwiddie, and Simmons are questionable. Speaking of Ben Simmons, I don't know why, but Skip Bayless continuing to sing his praises. I don't get it. I don't get it how people still think this is a legit basketball player after all these seasons. But anyway, total Phoenix on the other side, Payne and Shamet are still out for them. When it comes to the total, Phoenix saw 7 out of their last 9 stay under the line. They're also 76% to the under against Eastern Conference opponents. I'm going to lean toward Phoenix -5.5, under 225. Next ball game, it is going to be Bulls at the Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Memphis is -8, totals 235. Now, the Grizzlies just aren't playing good enough basketball right now to lay this big number. They're on a 3-game skid, and they also took the loss in 8 out of their last 9. When it comes to shooting the basketball, these guys really haven't been crisp. They have the lowest free throw percentage in the entire NBA. They also have one of the lowest three-point percentages in the Western Conference as well. They're facing a Chicago team who's in the top 5 in the NBA and fewest first-quarter points allowed on the road, doing a real good job defensively early in games. When it comes to offensive play, the Bulls are averaging more points per contest on the road than most clubs in the East. DeMar DeRozan's averaging a team-best 25 points a game. Meanwhile, Patrick Williams, he's drilling 41% of his three-pointers. Now, injury-wise, Alex Caruso is questionable for Chicago. Meanwhile, for Memphis on the other side, Big Steven Adams is still out. Brooks and Moran are questionable. When it comes to the total, 8 out of Memphis's last 10 did stay under the number. Meanwhile, Chicago went 70% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the Bulls +8, under 235. Next matchup, it is going to be Timberwolves Nuggets, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Denver's -8.5 at home, totals 235 and a hook. Now, the Nuggets have been real tough to beat in Denver. They're 25-4 in the Ball Arena, which actually leads the entire NBA right now in home victories. When it comes to shooting the basketball, nobody's doing it better than the Nugs. These guys lead the association in both field goal percentage and shooting from beyond the arc. Now, Michael Porter Jr., he's drilling 40% of his long balls. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic, he's scoring a team-high 24 points a game. Now, they're facing a Minnesota squad on the other side of things who's gotten the W in just 9 out of 24 away from home. The T-Wolves are also one of the worst rebounding teams in the West. They currently find themselves in the bottom 5 in offensive boards. And they also grab fewer defensive rebounds than most clubs in the West. Now, injury-wise, the T-Wolves are also banged up at the moment. Gobert, Anderson, and McLaughlin are questionable. Austin Rivers is suspended. And of course, Karl Anthony Towns, he's still out with that calf. Meanwhile, for Denver on the other side, Zeke Naji's day-to-day. When it comes to the total, Denver saw unders against the likes of Milwaukee, New Orleans, and Oklahoma City. Meanwhile, Minnesota went 60% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Denver -8.5, under 235 and a hook. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. It is going to be Thunder at the Lakers, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The LA Lakers are -7, totals 239. But despite being favored by several baskets, the Lakers are one of the worst rebounding teams in the West. Matter of fact, these guys are dead last in the entire NBA in defensive rebounds at home. And when it comes to offensive production, well, the Lakers have been a little threat shooting it from long range. These guys are in the bottom 5 in shooting from beyond the arc. They're facing an Oklahoma City squad who's one of the best teams in the West at guarding the three-pointer on the road. OKC also has the third lowest defensive field goal percentage on the road in the NBA as well. Josh Giddey is currently grabbing 6 defensive boards a night. He's also second on the team in points per game. And speaking of scoring, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he scores a team-high 30 points a night. Now, when it comes to the injury report, Lou Dort's still out for the Thunder. Meanwhile, for the Lakers, LeBron, AD, and Reeves are questionable. Now, total-wise, the Lakers saw overs against the likes of New Orleans, New York, and Boston. They also saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with Oklahoma City get over the number. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. I'm going to lean toward Oklahoma City +7 over 239. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into our quick pick recap. I like the over 225.5 in the New York Knicks Orlando Magic game. Give me the Atlanta Hawks +2 over 236. Phoenix Suns -5.5 under 225. Chicago Bulls +8 under 235. Denver Nuggets -8.5 under 235.5. With my next and final free pick, I'm going to lean toward Oklahoma City +7 over 239.